Well, hello and welcome to the second part of the Ballater Gallery Winter Show. And you'll never believe it, it's the end of January, the sun is shining, the snow's gone, and we're here to welcome you with new additions to the second part of the Winter Show. Have a look. Well, do you know, who'd have thought that I'd be standing outside there and Tom struggling to get the shot because of the reflection, because of the sun, here at 10:30 at the end of Friday morning at the end of January. Anyway, been a weird winter here in Ballater, but we thought we would take a video for a newsletter to let you all see. We'll talk later about what's been happening, what's been selling, but we've delivered more paintings for the winter show. We constantly rotate at the gallery between the viewing room, the store, even the cottage, and hopefully you'll see a lot of change of what we've put here for the second part, and some paintings remaining which haven't sold. I'm standing here next to a beautiful new arrival. I have to watch I don't enthuse about some artists more than others, but Michael Clark, my goodness, I love the colour combination. I shouldn't really say, I get a bit annoyed when people want to know more about the frame than the painting, but isn't it a beautiful frame with, I think, gesso and gold leaf. This is called Early Morning, and I was on holiday in Aix-en-Provence in October, and Michael Clark, I think, has a house down in that area, and he really manages to capture the whole mood and the feel of, you know, a little bit of bunting around the marketplaces, and the lady in the black dress and the guy standing in a pose perhaps not unlike myself. Have a look here, Tom, at what we've put here. Now, this painting has been here for the whole of the winter show. I'm surprised it's not sold, and it is gorgeous. It is called Cliff Connections, which I think maybe would it confuse, maybe causes a bit of intrigue. Sunflowers and, oh, here we go. I'm no Alan Titmarsh, am I? But lovely pink flowers in a good blue pottery vase. Marion never fails to disappoint. A classy painting that would look good above any fireplace. And continuing flowers, we go down here to again another painting which has been here for the whole of the winter show, called A Splash of Colour by Gail Pope. It's almost like one of these lovely ready-made Marks and Spencer's bouquets, and just bright and happy with a nice pot. And again, both of these artists never let you down with very expensive, very high quality frames. Turn to the right, Tom. Dale Bisland, this painting is getting so much interest. So this has only been here for the second part of the winter show. Surprise, surprise, it's called A Slice of Lime. It's looking out of the window. I'll just actually tell you a little bit more about it. So this painting is from Pier Cottage in Applecross, and the view is looking over to Ardew with the hills of Skye in the distance. Dale's very clever at telling a story with his paintings, and you know, the Corona gin, the lime. Funnily enough, I'm a gin drinker, and I think in that gin quite often put in a slice of apple. Anyway, that's by the by, but it just leaves everybody in their thoughts looking at snow-capped mountains. Going above, funnily enough, two other paintings which have been here a while, strangely enough, yeah, it has been slower, much slower than normal, in fact, for the winter show. These are lovely paintings by George Birrell, Village Garden, and then Sea Green. George has used, he may well have painted in his same style for a long time, but he's changing colour palettes, he's changing views. And look at this one, there's something romantic and hazy about this painting, with the light on in the window in the house, and then sharp colours of dark green and oranges. Going down, Tom, to this is a new painting, this is gorgeous, Off to Market by Glen Scouller. I'm going to talk about Glen because Glen's got a wonderful new book out, and again, I keep going on about it, but don't my artists come up trumps with frames. Looking down, Tom, to Robert Kelsey's Portree Bay on the Isle of Skye. Classic, classy. And Robert, we'll talk about it later, sold his lovely St Andrew's painting. Tom, I think talking about Robert, why don't we jump over to this easel here? This painting only arrived a few days ago, and this is the seafront on Ely Beach. I absolutely love Ely. I've got to know it very well through various clients who live down there. And Robert's just caught it. He's caught the type of architecture. He's caught, I think it possibly a little bit off season when it's quieter. He's caught the rooftops and the skies and the sand. What I love are my different styles of artists and different styles of painting. And we're going back to Michael Clark here. And this painting is called The Dog Walkers on the Beach. I mean, this could be Ely, it could be France, it could be, I'm trying to think of so many different beaches. It could be Findhorn, it could be Aberdeen Beach. It's gorgeous. And just so many people in their thoughts when they go dog walking. Let's go here, Tom, to this big one here. I'm trying not to forget anybody, but this is a 10 out of 10 from Georgina McMaster. It's called Bullseye. Initially you look and you see a poppy, but then you go right in and you see the fabulous bumblebees. Isn't it gorgeous? It's a big painting, it's modern, and it's 1 metre by 1 metre, then plus the frame, which must take it up to about 1.2 by 1.2 metres. I don't think that'll be here long. That's just arrived. Moving up, Tom. Kirsty Wither. We have, Kirsty's done incredibly well at talking about our small painting show. She had 6 paintings, and I think they literally sold out on the first night when we went. But these are big, serious Kirsty Withers, which we have in at the moment. If you could, Tom, jump from there straight over to look at this wonderful landscape and the way we have the pinks and the blues. Tom, do you want to go to the right, please, and at the Ewan McGregor? Ewan's had huge success with us with his distillery paintings, but this is a little bit different, but done in his usual architectural style, and this is of Gordon Harbour. Gordon's just south of Aberdeen. Now, we haven't had too many Alison Cowans of late, but isn't this wonderful? This, for under £2,000, this is a great big painting, about 1 metre by 1 metre, including the frame. Do you want to go close in, Tom, just to have a look at the texture? It's kind of purple, but not an irritating purple. A really lovely bits of gold through it. It's modern, the creams, and I think you'll all agree it's superb. Do you want to, Tom, go and have a look at the Stuart Gatherers? Because they have literally only arrived in Ballater yesterday. So very unusual for us at Ballater. Stuart Gatherer takes a long, long time to paint his work, and these are so different and so gorgeous. The nudes, the portraits of Layla and Lottie, and expertly framed again, and wouldn't they look good 2 or 3 together as a group? I think they're stunning. If you would have a look, Tom, please, at the Hargan and the window. So this painting, so I don't know what's going on over the winter show, because Hargan's normally run out the door, and I think this is one of his best. I think it's full of humour, story, romance. The painting is called The Letter. It's a great big one. And we always quote our sizes as the canvas. We don't quote including the frame. Because why? The frames are all different sizes, so I'm not wanting to confuse people. But these frames by Joe Hargan are always stunning. And have a look at the one below it as well, please, Tom. And we have overview. Both of these paintings have the fabulous Mr. Sniffy in them. We have a lot of small paintings around. I would like you to have a look at this gorgeous painting by Denise Findlay. Look at this. It's called Pure Gold, and it's oil and gold leaf on a marble tile. It's absolutely beautiful, and under £1,000. We've been moving paintings around. Somebody wanted to see these, and I wanted to let you see this other small painting by Denise called Fleeting Thought. Absolutely beautiful, beautifully framed, and just £850. Doing a little display for somebody from the Fife Arms. And these David Schofield's, Tom, as well, a bit different for David. I I'd like to, Tom, just do a little surprise, because we've just been talking about Glen Scouller there, and when you look at his painting of the Winter Hen House, it's an utterly gorgeous painting for the time of year. It's an incredibly classy painting. Looking out of Glen's studio window in deepest Ayrshire on a cold day, and it's been said so many times, hasn't Glen Scouller got amazing ability with blue and managing to capture the coldness? Anyway, I've just taken this book, but Paul Daniels here, out of its wonderful dust cover, and we have these in stock now. This is The Art of Glen Scouller, Like a Moth to a Flame. It's the most beautiful story about Glen's work. It really shows lots of his paintings, which ourselves and Open Eye and the other galleries who represent him, he's painted over a lifetime, with lots of stories about Glen as well, and a wonderful foreword from a certain gallery owner. So this is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking here at Glen's coat. I can think of a few things more joyous than standing quietly in a shady Provençal street in a field of sunflowers, or in the tranquility of my garden, making marks on paper or canvas. It is indeed a joy to behold. Just out the Glen Scouller book. So I think we'll just round up there, Tom, if that's all right. But hopefully we'll have a little chat now about what's been happening, but bear in mind that we have more than double what is here at the viewing room in Aberdeen. So if your favourite artists are showing availability here, have a look at the website, and don't forget we have a month to go of the small painting show, which is all where you can just press a button when we're closed and buy a painting online. That's the second half of the Ballater Gallery Winter Show. Let's talk about what's been selling. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that little tour of the final, if you like, collection put together here at the Ballater Gallery of the Winter Show paintings. And, you know, whilst I've maybe gone on that it's been a little bit slower than we had hoped for, Tom tells me that people still like us to recap at the end of a newsletter what's been sold during the Winter Show. And actually, when you look back, you think to yourself, actually, it's not been a disaster at all. Sort of recapping also on our small painting show, our first ever. And, you know, even just in the last couple of days, people are still buying these wonderful paintings unframed online. So that will continue till the end of February. In fact, I think it was yesterday, Gail Pope's No Shrinking Violets. Tom will maybe drop that in to let you see. And a couple of Linda Park's paintings continue to sell. So small paintings are still going. Anyway, I'm here to now talk about what's sold. Do you know, I don't mention too much. We only have one local artist, and it's probably all I'll ever have, and that's Janice McElwain. She doesn't sell anywhere else, she sells with us. Massively popular with people of all types who buy her, generally speaking, small original watercolours and oils of the local area. So I think probably 6 or 7 of Janice's paintings sold during the Winter Show, and you know, they're generally speaking priced $350, $450, that sort of level for an original framed painting. Anyway, David Meredith's wonderful bronzes have been selling continually well during the winter period, and in particularly big bronzes, Stargazer, the wonderful blue tits on the circle. Remember, on the whole, David Meredith's sculptures in bronze are limited edition. So some of the bigger ones can be in an edition of just 8. They're all signed, and they're all called bronze, solid bronze. And some of these can be around the £7,000, £8,000, £10,000 mark. But don't forget that they start, generally speaking, at just under £1,000 for these bronzes. So he's been selling well. We then go to maybe Ruth Corbett. Ruth offers incredible value for money, beautiful oil paintings, hydrangea flowers and apples, only £1,100, biggish painting, beautifully framed, sold to a lovely buyer in Aberdeen, and we had a lovely, almost a spring-like painting called Joyful Flowers, which again was snapped up, maybe from memory, as a Christmas gift. Robert Kelsey continues to sell steadily, and he's got a huge fan base across the British Isles, because everybody knows Robert sells well through Thompson's in London. And a cracking new painting of his was called Reflection St Andrews, snapped up very quickly, and we could probably have sold that painting 2 or 3 times. Talking of St Andrews, people like areas which they know and they love. Linda Park, a new painting of hers called Shallow Tide at St Andrews, literally went in a matter of days of arrival. Now, Andrew Thompson. Everyone here listening to this knows Andrew Thompson's small paintings, but Andrew Thompson rarely paints big, and my goodness, this was huge. This was a painting at 1.4 by 1.5 metres called Song Thrushes and Cabbage Whites. I adored it. I adored it so much that we made it our gallery Christmas card. So I think if you're watching this, you will be registered on our mailing list, and you will have received our Christmas card of that painting, and bought by a very classy collector with a gorgeous house, and snapped up. Actually, I think it was on the market for 2 or 3 weeks, and then snapped up, and we delivered it to its new forever home. Chris Taylor. Now you're probably thinking, Chris Taylor, who's he again? So Chris Taylor, as a ceramicist, there's beautiful vases and pots. I think, I'm looking around, I think it was our last Chris Taylor pot, and it was yellow turquoise vase sold. Watch this space, because come the end of February, we should have 3 or 4 new pots or vases in from Chris, and they're a different style because he's going down the raku route. Muriel Barclay. Well, Muriel Barclay, obviously one of the best known painters in Scotland, sent me 3 paintings, big paintings, and I thought, not sure if they're right for the winter show, but spectacularly executed. And I'll tell you the names of the 3 paintings. They were called Resting, The Gaze, and Tinted. Her beautiful dancer models, who then find it just I don't know what the word is, but they also love posing for her nudes paintings. And all of these 3 paintings, and I'm not exaggerating, Resting, The Gaze and Tinted, Tom will be dropping them in now, sold within 1 week of arrival to different buyers. And these were, I can't remember exactly, but between 5 and 10,000. I think we've 1 painting available by Muriel, so have a look on the website, just the 1. David Smith. Well, David Smith is by far one of our most successful artists, certainly in the top 5 of numbers of paintings and values, and 2 of his beauties. Now, funnily enough, when we're talking about places, he had a gorgeous painting. This didn't sell as quickly as I thought it would, and it really was, without doubt, one of my own personal favourites, and it's called Ely Beach. So I'm often in Ely delivering paintings and even helping hang paintings in lovely houses there, and Ely Beach was snapped up, not for an Ely house, but for someone with one of the most beautifully interior designed and architecturally designed houses in Edinburgh. He then sold another painting, which funnily enough had been around a little while, Hebridean Croft. So David continues to sell. Michael Clark, a classic little black dress. I think that was probably bought as a Christmas present for somebody to themselves. And as I'm sitting next to Michael Clark here, Michael's had a huge degree of success during 2024, and I urge you to look at our website and see the new Michael Clark paintings which arrived. Lynn Patillo, we tend to have paintings by Lynn Patillo around. They're small, they're fun, and unsurprisingly, Tring Tring. Have we got more, Tom? There's usually some Lynn Patillos around somewhere. And so Tring Tring sold. And then we'll jump from Tring Tring, cutesy, fun, small. What then sold just before Christmas? The fabulous Sunset at Loch Earn by Ian Faulkner. We have to fight madly to get Ian Faulkner paintings, particularly the big ones, because there are people really always waiting to see what Faulkner comes up with next. Don't forget, we have a couple behind me, nice size, but Sunset at Loch Earn, an utter stunner, snapped up just before Christmas. And just to finish off, because I think I'm boring myself now a bit, so I'm probably really boring you, Tony Alleyne. We don't talk that much about Tony, and he beavers away quietly, he leaves it all to us, a bit like Ian Faulkner. You know, they're not constantly on socials, and they both sell very well here. And Tony Alleyne's Dusk at the River Earn and Dawn on the River Earn both have sold, and he's the guy that, I don't think we've anything in the gallery other than the viewing room, paints beautifully with pastels. So there's a little bit of a précis of what's been sold, and that's the end of the newsletter. But I hope you've enjoyed the tour, I hope you've enjoyed the summary. But yes, generally speaking, bit of a quiet winter show. So hopefully we can overanalyze why it's been quieter than before. But hopefully people will have spring to their step, if that's the right way, step in their spring. But you'll all be looking forward to making your way up to Ballater or pestering me for videos. Not pestering, I love it when you get in touch and say, David, can you send a video of the frame and a close-up? I really want to cheer myself up, buy myself a painting as we go into spring and summer, because there are some utter stunners still here as we finish and enter the final part of the winter show at the Ballater Gallery. Thank you.